Maxor's video, you know. Well, I was already on you before with the Elden Ring vid, all right? And y'all came together like the Avengers on Maxor's channel, all right? Y'all let me know what Avenger Seth would be. Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we are back with another reaction, and we got Company of Heroes 2 review, historically accurate edition. All right, hey, look, we reacted to Martin's video yesterday. My man taught me all about space weapons and a whole bunch of things I didn't know existed. Nuclear fission. We was in school yesterday, but this is a historically accurate edition of Company of Heroes 2. Let's get it.
Hey people, Seth here, fellas. I gotta confess, I'm down bad. I got caught peeing in the sink. Now, I don't think that's weird. It's a victimless crime, just like punching someone in the dark.
Y'all pee in the sink? No. Do y'all pee in the shower? All right. If you pee in the look, let me know. Look, I'm not gonna judge. Put your truthful answer down below. Y'all be peeing in the shower?
Sink is so forbidden to urination, then why is it placed so perfectly, reducing my hesitation? But I feel embarrassed. No, not because I did it, but because I got caught. I'm not gonna stop. I'll just get better. For the future, I'm gonna trick shot my stream around the sink bowl. That's a silent projectile. Effectively, I'm applying a suppressor to my gun barrel. That way, members of my family cannot ambush me so easily, and I will not be shamed by people who immediately revert to authoritarian fascist statements such as, "We have 2 toilets. Why did you use the sink?" Listen, I saved water.
How is that not a legitimate statement? How do you got a toilet available and you peeing in the sink, bruh? There's no, this right here is unacceptable. Seth, I'm gonna have to have a word with you after this video, all right? Got questions.
I saved lives. Maybe a few decades from now, there'd be entire villages in sub-Saharan Africa singing songs of praise over how much water I saved. And you know what? All I had to do was unload my fire hose in a kitchen sink. Company of Heroes 2, strangely enough, is the topic of this video. It is an old game played by old men, namely us. Company of Heroes 2 is a squad-based RTS covering the events of World War II, a fictional war where Germany hired Hugo Boss to design their fashionable blitz of Europe, Russia managed to kill 24 million of their own people, and the US greatly increased the temperature of 2 neighborhoods in Southeast Asia. All this happened while the UK sat in a corner, still wondering why marching all your men single file into machine gun fire during World War I may impact their ability to participate in the sequel. Basically, a sequence of events so absurd that we depart from the realm of fiction into history. Everything seen here is not only real, it's historically accurate. Yes, the blast radius of a single grenade, approximately the same size as everything you love and cherish. Yes, the trajectory of a mortar shell, statistically, by a random chance, will always land perfectly on a soldier's head, killing at least 3 more. Yes, a machine gun will pin every squad on the map. That is, unless you own the machine gun, in which case it pins one enemy, gets flanked, and eats a Molotov to the face. Tanks counter infantry. Anti-tanks, or AT, counter tanks. But, pray tell, what counters an anti-tank? Answer, the same tank driving towards you. Combat is a mystery. Sometimes, the enemy calls in air support, pinning our infantry. So, logically, I shoot them down. The burning plane crashes into my friend's base, taking out the rest of his infantry. Here is the largest tank in the game.
Bro. Imagine you standing somewhere, they shoot an airplane out the sky from the opposing people, and you just see it flying towards you. You like, bro, they was after y'all, not me.
The King Tiger. Notice, standard for vehicles of its time, the traditional German Ahegao paint job. One of the greatest features of this game is custom content, because when I pick a shitty anime faceplate, you get no choice in the matter. You're forced to download the same shitty anime faceplate, which, when inspected closely, reveals instructions on how to make meth. I believe Central Intelligence can employ this in the future. We join someone's game, forcibly download illegal content to their PC, and do a sting operation on their residence. If they start screaming civil liberties or probable cause, cite Penal Code 129 paragraph 27 subsection C, which states anyone caught playing Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis, or Company of Heroes 2 is probably a domestic terrorist. I also really enjoy setting my
Hold on, what does that that say about? Never mind.
Victory strike to FPS killer. I almost feel like it's an obligation. You see, one of my friends doesn't exactly have the best computer. This encourages him to play his very best, because if he loses, he's not just gonna lose the game. His PC will overheat and die, killing him in the explosion. But I'm getting off track. Gameplay. You produce
I know my
units
man
to
be
capture
trying
and
hard on
hold
the game,
territory.
boy.
The more territory you hold, the higher your income to spend on units and upgrades. Your objective is to either take and hold certain key positions or destroy the enemy HQ. Very simple. Infantry come in squads of 4 to 6. Each of these individuals can fight and die on the battlefield, but as long as the squad stays alive, you can replace your dead soldiers. This is infinitely cheaper than ordering a fresh new squad. This is a micro-intensive RTS where positioning matters. There's a cover system. 4 dudes hiding behind a cow isn't great, but it's better than getting capped in the middle of the street. Sandbags, broken vehicles, or
using
even
a man
domestic
as a human
dwelling
shield.
offer the best protection. However, terrain is dynamic. A tank shell can transform brick walls into brick memories. A howitzer pancakes buildings into rubble and any men inside into red stains. And artillery fire causes deformation of the soil, leaving craters that provide cover in the process. Basically,
that's
in
fire.
1941, we already knew how to terraform. We can take anything we see and make it worse. There's also ice. I don't really talk about it because having ice implies that you're playing a winter map, which nobody does because they suck. Ice breaks on impact. It's a great form of population control and a good way to lose your tank. Vehicles are a little different. In general, the
If you driving your tank on frozen ice, you're done. All right, it's a tank. It's heavy. I'm not driving on no ice, bro.
distance,
It's not
angle,
happening.
size, wind resistance, conductivity, and horoscope of the ammunition against the horoscope of the armor determines damage. Most 88mm shells are made in June, making them a cancer, while most of the bulk production of German armor was late September, making it a Libra. Cancer typically defeats Libra, unless Mercury is in retrograde, in which case all bets are off.
even know
A
what that
tank's
means.
armor is strongest
Somebody
at the front,
explain
which
Mercury
means the
and
back
retrograde
and
to
side
me
is
in 5
ripe
words down
for the
below.
taking. Fighting a tank directly is a terrible idea. Your shots won't do much if they even connect. You'll know true terror when you see every anti-tank gun shoot the same target, only to hear a characteristic ting, which means their front plate is so thick that every shell just bounced off. On the bright side, the heavier the tank, the slower it moves. So we flank, outmaneuver, and ambush them instead. And if that doesn't work, there's always the Soviet approach, where I take a T-34 and ram it into your tank. Yes, Germans had the best tanks, but the Soviets designed their gas pedal in reverse. Once you start the ignition, you press the pedal to stop the tank. If, hypothetically, your head has been blown off by shrapnel, your foot will release the pedal. The engine will accelerate and take out one of the best tanks in the world.
All right, I don't know how I feel about that. All right, because that's a good idea for if you die. All right, but like only stopping the tank when you press down. I don't know. Like, what if they shoot through the tank, right? And your mans that was loading the artillery in the tank got hit. You gotta go treat them. That means you gotta get up. And the tank's gonna continue to roll forward, putting you in more danger. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how I feel about that.
And then you make another. Disclaimer, I don't know if this is true. My sources are some schizophrenic guy whose bathroom was red with chicken blood. And before you say, Seth, I don't think he sounds reliable, I'll have you know, he's a practicing doctor. Let's talk about the races. There's 5 in total. First, let's talk about the bad guys. The British. I'm kidding. The Orcs are a defensive faction. They can lock down large areas of a map with emplacements, and their tanks feature some of the best armor in the game.
Oh, whoa. I never saw the decals close up. Yo, by the way, this is a normal British tank. This is a real Cromwell. Bro, this is
With the
real.
tutor
Everybody
on the
gangster
back, boy.
until the Churchill starts vaping. They do temporarily suffer from a lack of manpower. That is, until you reach late game, where Saruman begins to command the very mud to rise up and reinforce your squads with Urukai. Goblins are going to give out gigantic loans with even higher interest to all of their allies. By the end of the war, I expect their banks to hold most of the gold on the planet. But in this game, they actually fight. They can spam their basic
tough.
unit and never lose a single engagement because, unlike everybody else, they don't retreat. They just park an ambulance outside and spawn camp your base. If you even dare to counter them, they'll spam rangers instead. Homo Sovieticus. This game's release was met with heavy criticism from Russia, stating that portraying the Eastern Front as a slaughterhouse where civilians were conscripted to fight with a single lever-action rifle between 5 or 6 people was inaccurate.
Bro, I'm not going out on no war front without my own weapon. It's not happening. Let's listen to what my man said, all right?
To fight with a single lever-action rifle between 5 or 6 people.
Between 5 or 6 people got one gun. Whoever you go out there, all right? I'm going to stay here. You die, I'm going to run out, get the gun, and I'll start fighting. That's what we doing.
Was inaccurate because by the time you get to use it, realistically, you're a group of free. In this game, the Russian army works much the same way. Everything and everyone is mass-produced and expendable. Our tanks are built like shit. Our men leave their homes with teary eyes, domestically abusing their wife one last time because they know full well they might not come back. The High Elves feature the 2 best vehicles in the game.
To give out the Joey Daddies just because you might not come back.
The Kubelwagen.
Zwei Kaffee, zwei Kaffee, drei.
Which has the highest RPM in the entire game. It also dies from a mild gust of wind, which makes keeping it alive all the more interesting. And this is a Sturmtiger. The gun is so huge that it must be reloaded externally by the crew for 30 seconds. And this is what it sounds like when it fires. Oberkommando West are highly mobile and aggressive. Their playstyle is keep pushing the front line until you win, and occasionally send a Kubelwagen into their back line. And finally, we have the Germans. I don't like playing the Deutsch. Everything is incredibly bureaucratic, just like Germany. Oh nein, Entschuldigung, we have not escalated the battle phase. Please continue losing a little longer before we can authorize the countermeasure for what you're currently losing to. Wehrmacht has some of the greatest variety in units and tactics, but I am very bad at playing them. I'm highly emotional and unstable. So yes, this will affect my opinion. There's many ways to play this game. Against AI, against players, 1v1, 2v2, anything is possible. But let me tell you the worst way to play this game. 4v4 versus expert AI.
Heck, fucking 4 experts? Hell yeah, I'm ready to get butt pounded.
What do you mean butt pounded? This is joy. Do you not feel mirth?
Which is what we've been doing for the past few weeks.
I'm not trying
it's a bonding exercise, a form of collective suffering that brings us closer together. Allow me to summarize that experience.
Fucking miserable after that game.
Playing against expert AI is like you're Goku in a hyperbolic time chamber. You get so mad so fast. You're training years in just days. You're learning forms of anger that take decades to develop. My life is currently one of those Fortnite shirts you see around town, except instead it says eat, sleep, scream, repeat. I fucking hate this game. I lied. It's not fun. You go in with hope. You come out a broken, hollow husk of your former self. But why? Because expert gets everything you get, except double. Plus, perfect reflexes, map hack, and the ability to bend reality. You're going to be eating your first tank shell before 5 minutes into the game. You're going to make progress only to see free red flares drop on top of you, undoing all of your progress. You're going to look away for a split second and see your whole squad disappear. You're going to play the game perfectly and still lose. In summary, Company of Heroes 2. I hate it. It's great. But before I continue, consider the following. That purchasing a legitimate copy of the base game allows you to play only 2 of the 5 possible factions. That's right. You only get to play Wehrmacht and the
G2A games, here I come, alright? What? Stop asking questions.
Soviets. The rest is DLC. Surely that's not too bad, right? I mean,
DLC
it's the least they can ask of us to buy the base game for $20 and then buy the other 3 races for $40. But wait, it gets better. Most of the game features are locked behind faction commanders, which can be purchased with money. For reference, an entire faction is the same cost as 4 commanders. However, and people are very quick to point this out, you could also earn them with in-game currency using the greatest loot box ever made. I've played over 100 hours. Do you know the number of times I dropped currency free? Do you know how many more I need to earn a commander? 27. I love simping for corporations. I love cash shops. I love that yummy high fructose corn syrup. I love the United Nations. With this in mind, I strongly encourage anyone interested to visit a third-party reseller instead. The copy you're looking for is the Master Collection. This should include all the races, but instead of $60, you spend $15. Yes, I know, everyone and their mother is scared of CD key resellers. I bought about 100 keys online.
Hey, see, look, I didn't say it. All right, I didn't say it. That says G2A right there. That ain't got nothing to do with me, you know.
Every single one worked. Then I once bought a boxed copy of Fallout Tactics from the store, which just had an empty case with a code inside. That code didn't work. So, from my experience, putting my trust in a random Polish stranger gives me better results. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is a test to see how quickly I could churn something out. Turns out for creative output, in the absence of passion, vitriol is an entirely viable substitute. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
W people. Look. Hold up. Is the credits this long? Bro, W community. Ho-ho! Yo. This might be the largest.
He got out to repair.
Low frame raising because your settings are set to high.
Why did you get out?
Destroyed?
Why did you get out of the tank? They just stole Strangelove's tank because he got out to repair.
Oh, by the way, do you want to see how booby traps in this game work?
Booby traps?
Boobies.
You shoot it.
Yeah.
Shoot your man. Where did he go?
You heard of that woman that consists her diet of only semen?
Her name's your mom.
Listen. W game. My biggest concern is one, you pee in your sink. All right, that's like the number one thing I remember from this video is you peeing in the sink. All right, that's first of all. Second of all, I'm not loading no tank from outside the tank. Why I gotta get out the tank to load the tank? Whoever those engineers are need to be fired. All right. Matter of fact, they need to be banned. Matter of fact, they need to be jailed. All right. They need to be put in a asylum. Cause ain't no way you built that like that. You got mad bullets and torpedoes and the other things flying at you. All right. And they're like, hey, while that's happening, just jump out the top. Load this shell into here, close it back, and it takes 30 seconds. That's it. You know how many bullets can hit you in 30 seconds? Okay? I seen Scarface. My man got lit up in like 2 of them things. All right? Say hello to my you're done. All right? But look, y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Until the next time I see y'all. Peace.
Yeah, nigga, I was broke. I ain't have a penny, I was ready to kick a dope. Lay your ass on the floor, taking everything about this bitch before I go. Niggas talking all that gang when the sugar pumping through their main vein.